Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Death Stranding, where we've got an order to take from the paleontologist. I believe this is going to take us back to Hartman, but for now, let's read some mail. From the geologist about his chiral nightmares while he was contaminated. Thanks to you, the chiral contamination's all cleared up. Nasty symptoms, though. Dizziness, headaches, insomnia. At first I was worried it was all due to my isolation in this shelter and the intense focus on my research for the past year. But it got real bad when the nightmares started. I saw the end of the world, a portal to the beach opening, and BTs pouring through by the thousands. There was nowhere to run, no time, and they began scooping us up one by one. And then the void-outs came, bigger and bigger, until a massive one, or several massive ones, enveloped the whole world, and poof, just like that. When I told Hartman about it, he likened it to the visions of extinction doom sufferers tend to experience. It's strange, though, after all, we now have incontrovertible proof that chiralium is far from a recent addition to our world. Anyway, that's a problem for a different day. The important thing is that I'm cured, and it's all thanks to you. That is an interesting question, because if there is an end of the world expected, or should I say predicted, by chiral matter, and if chiral matter has always existed, and if beaches have always existed, and BTs have always existed, then... Oh, nope, this goes to the paleontologist. I am taking the... Oh yeah, the rock. Because the paleontologist needs to see this sweet, sweet rock. Why do I have 7 ladders? I probably should use some of these ladders. I don't necessarily need any new equipment because I built all of them new for myself. I'm probably not going to be fighting anybody up here. I've got tons of hematic grenades, so in case I run into BTs, I should be fine. Let us auto-arrange 77 kilograms. That's not so bad. That's fine. In fact... Oh, hold on. It wants me to collect something? Ah, that's why it has me doing that way. Great. Alright. So that is my... objective. Let us get out there and get going. But yeah, like, what... the lore of this game definitely takes a lot of interesting twists and turns. Thank you. Oh, hold on. No.
Thanks for the help.
Thank you, person who placed this generator here.
This one's for you.
This one is for you.
Thanks for that.
Fantastic. Where did... Okay. That's my objective. Yeah, if the chiral contamination has always been there, or at the very least, maybe this leads... Why is there even a bridge in this area? What is it overlapping? I mean, I might as well just use the bridge because it'll be faster than walking on snow. You, sir, built a bridge in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna give you some likes.
Thanks for the help.
I'll bump you up to 200.
This one's for you.
Okay. Like, why is this bridge out in the middle of nowhere? It's because this is an online game, and somebody decided to put it there. But, like, They talk about, like, the dinosaurs being the first extinction event. Are the dinosaurs having bad dreams about BTs scooping them up in the middle of the night? Shit. Of course there are BTs. I am going... Ha. There are probably going to be a lot of BTs from here on out. I'm going to see if I can scooch my way around. But I have a feeling where I'm going, that's going to be unavoidable. Because I'm probably going to go to the tar pits, which suffer from a higher degree of contamination from chiralium. But that sign that I just passed by said that there are BTs, so I am going to go the other way for now. Because I don't need to deal with that. Hold on. Okay, I was wondering what fully charged... Although I suppose the battery does fully charge, or charge up when you're not using it. Okay. I'm still on course. And I think making relatively good time. I might be circling back to the BTs. So let's cut back down this way. Although I feel like I'm essentially guessing that there are BTs in that area because of the sign placement. Do I have climbing anchors? Yes, I do. I've got also tons of ladders, so I need to remember to use my ladders at some point. All right. I also have lots of cryptobiotes, but I feel as though the cryptobiotes are themselves an additional piece of equipment that doesn't necessarily get used because it serves the same purpose as blood bags. Like, you run low on blood, you eat a cryptobiote to encourage your blood regeneration. Though I suppose I probably could have used it while I was in the war zone. Alright. Yep. And now the unavoidable. It's been a while since I've been sent directly into BT territory. So I suppose it was unavoidable that I would eventually be sent back into BT territory again. And by the way, this place... Yes, okay. Yes. This is the old observatory that was lost.
Good to have you back.
Very good to have you back. Now, I haven't actually cut a BT's umbilical cord yet. I'm going to see if I can. Ah. Hello. And can we get you? I feel like he's a little bit harder to reach. Also, he's gigantic. Why is he so big? Why is Big Boy? Like, this guy is way smaller. Alright. Okay, so this is still slow going, but I actually have a means to defend myself, which does technically work. And thankfully, I don't actually need to see the umbilical cord. In order to cut it. Which is definitely very convenient. Although that giant one worries me. Okay. So I've got 3 more. So let's head... Let's head this way. Knock this guy out. Oh, now I see you. I'm not going to worry about you, actually. I mean, it's still definitely slow going because you can't... You always kind of have to ping the radar in order to see them. To see... There we go. Or you can just kind of like... You can kind of just wait until the Audra something starts to go nuts. Hello, sir. Would you like your umbilical cord cut? I can offer you that service. Ooh. And that drops a whole bunch of chiral crystals. Alright, where am I actually going? So I've got 2 more. Things to pick up. And also you can kind of gauge their travel based on the ground below them. And luckily, the actual cutting of the umbilical cord does not make sound. Thank you. Okay. I feel as though, like, this strategy of kind of clearing out the BTs has generally been slower going, but it has also been safer. And a little bit easier because of that. Let us balance out our cargo. Now there are 5. Do I just have 4 of them, or have I already picked up 5? It says collect all 4 containers of tar extraction devices. Oh, it's probably because I already have the one. There we go. Almost there. There we go. Ah, damn it. No. Son of a... Ah, damn it. Damn it. It was going so well. It was going so well. And now I've got to turn around. Get my... Where are these buildings even coming from? Sorry, BB. Oh my gosh. There are multiples of them. Alright. I just have to grab this. And how far am I from exiting their sphere of influence? Not far at all. Fantastic. Whew. Let us catch our breath. That was a little stressful. Have a little bit of monster energy. Alright. Well. So yeah. Overall that went well. Up until the point in which I got spotted by grabbing that last package. Definitely having the BB back is great. Having the ability to actually fight against the BTs without expending resources is also great. Not just without expending resources, but also to do it silently. Because I'm pretty sure if I start attracting the attention of various BTs... Now, I suppose I could have, like,
Not bad.
brought out the hematic grenade, because when you access your equipment, time stops. So once I realized I was caught, I could have immediately brought out the hematic grenade, and then from there, just thrown it at my feet. In an attempt to destroy the nearby BT. But escaping the two giant BTs went smoothly enough. Neither of them actually managed to get a hit in. And I grabbed my stuff, I got out, and here we are. Making our way to the biologist, the Evo Devo.
Come on, let's get this show on the road.
Exactly, that's what I've been saying all this time. And hopefully get away from these snow-capped mountains. It was nice being able to just walk on land without having to worry about sliding down snowy hills. You spend a lot of time in these mountains. But then I suppose you do spend a lot of time in those earlier areas too, so I guess it balances out.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID.
Alright.
ID verified. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified.
Biologist, I have your stuff mostly intact, which is how I know you like it.
I'm impressed, Sam. Not many people would have even attempted this. May I have a look?
No.
Not a scratch on it, and the tar inside is safe and secure. You do not disappoint, my friend.
Oof. 17%, 9, 6, 0, 12. What does that equate to? An S for awesome! They're really kind about these ratings, I've got to admit. Like, you really have to screw up and damage these containers for it to give you a bad rating.
That's where my studies will truly begin.
Alright. Another new strand. Yeah, it's interesting. You look at that eastern side and it has much fewer knots. And then you go to this middle area and there's just so many individual preppers. Ooh, a grenade launcher?
Thank you. It goes without saying, but I am convinced that the tar is related to the BTs and the Death Stranding. After all, both it and Timefall are the defining features of the post-Stranding ecosystem. Sudden environmental changes such as these invariably lead to the extinction of organisms that fail to adapt. Those that do adapt do so by virtue of enhancers, the regions of DNA that grant successful organisms their advantages. These genetic factors are the key to evolution. But there are genes which have the opposite effect, those which disadvantage organisms. Extinction factors, as they have been called.
Okay.
These are the seeds of advancement and obsolescence. Such factors may lie dormant within us all, a choice waiting to be made. For every being since the advent of life itself. If so, then ancient proof may hide deep within the tar. evidence of these genetic decisions that may aid us in navigating our current crossroads. In any event, thanks to you, I can now study the composition of the tar in greater detail. I'll make sure to share any interesting results with you later.
All right.
Well done, Sam. You furthered our research into the Death Stranding in ways you cannot imagine.
Except now I believe I need
Thank you
to
again for bringing
build
Michelle's body, as well as
the way station.
Speaking of which, my analysis of its umbilical cord is proceeding apace. I've been comparing the data against some of our restored archives. Anyway, would you mind returning to my lab? Preparations are finally complete for the chiral relay integration.
Okay.
If you could collect the necessary materials for the restoration work and bring them here, I would be most grateful.
Oh gosh, I was worried about that.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
Like, I don't actually know what materials he needs. And the game is not telling me. Okay. But I suppose we might as well head out to Hartman's lab. Complete the circle, so to speak. Let's take a look at the map this time. So we've got mountain slides. And that's roughly it. It doesn't seem like we have any BTs from here and there.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
So let us make haste. Back to Hartman's lair. You know, I've been thinking about Assassin's Creed Odyssey a little bit because of, not necessarily because of this game, but because of the recording process. I was considering just skipping ahead, just cutting to Hartman's area. When I remembered my goals in regards to recording Assassin's Creed Odyssey, with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I often, especially as the game went on, would everything in that game is generally far away from each other. So you spend a lot of time just traveling. Sometimes by foot, sometimes by boat. Sometimes you fight miscellaneous boats on your way, but you spend a lot of time just going from point A to point B, and then you get to the destination. And so, frequently, I would simply cut out those parts, the traveling time. But ooh, somebody left their,
Thanks for the help.
their anchor here.
This one's for you.
Let's like it a whole bunch,
Thanks for the help.
and then use it. But consider Death Stranding as a game. Like, gameplay-wise, the going from point A to point B is the point of the game. Like, you could argue that, like with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I think I could argue safely that the travel time is not necessarily the point of the game. It's probably closer to the, the combat sections, the stealth sections, the story, the exploration. That is generally the focus. But if you're just going from traveling in between places, the travel time, maybe not necessarily. Whereas this is a game, like, there's the story and then there's the gameplay. And I think there's a separate discussion a person can have in regards to how the story is a little bit divorced from the gameplay. in that the gameplay has its own set of objectives and the story has its own set of objectives. Whereas like the story is about connecting people together, and the gameplay is generally about that solitary journey. Because you always have to make a solitary journey before you actually connect to everybody else. You have to do it on your own before you connect with others. Although I suppose actually at that point you could say ideologically the two are together. But like then you add on the mysteries, the Death Stranding. In the meantime though, like with the gameplay aspect of it, just crossing this, like if I decided to skip sections of gameplay, if I decided to skip, oh, whoops, sorry Lou. If I skipped over areas, essentially I'm skipping the main aspect of the game itself. Should I calm down, Lou? Let's calm down, Lou. Also, I forgot that this game did teach me about compass mode, but it did so as a means of explaining how to calm the baby. There we go. So I just forgot about compass mode as any means of functionality aside from taking care of the baby. But yeah, like the entire idea of cutting out trips also means cutting out the main game itself. That said, at the same time, there's a lot of paths that kind of overlap. Like, especially around the Mountain Knot City. Like, how many times, for YouTube-related purposes, does a person really need to see me travel from Mountain Knot City to the Mountaineer and back to Mountain Knot City over and over again? So, either way, let us turn in this... Let's turn in nothing and go into this building. Say hi to Heartman, see how he's doing. Has he found his family yet? If he has, then he will essentially be dead.
Thank you, Sam. In reclaiming our past, we've uncovered a number of vital clues. Don't worry, I just got back. We have time. When you met with Mama, you experienced a strong antigen-antibody reaction, correct?
There was a BT in the room.
There was, but something else may have been causing it. I've discovered large quantities of chiral matter in Mama as well. Not just the usual kind that collects on our skin or on our suits. It's in all her cells. Cells that are no longer active. The BT you encountered there was special. It was her child, but also her own soul.
Okay, so when I'm talking about gameplay divorced from story, this is what I'm talking about.
They must have remained connected through the umbilical cord. It's the only explanation.
Like, how is ideas of Ka and Ha represented in gameplay?
And there's more.
Like, it doesn't have to.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I modified the log times. Headquarters will have no record of what we say.
Look,
a message from Deadman. It came with the umbilical cord.
Sam, I'm sorry. You deserve to know what you were carrying. But I couldn't risk Die Hardman finding out about the case. so I had no choice but to keep it off the books. You've got to keep this between us. We still don't know if the director can be trusted. The umbilical cord was taken from Bridget
Ironic,
Strand.
since there are two directors in this room.
Secret. The cord wasn't attached to a fetus. It was outside her body. She
Wait.
asked me to take care of it. Said it was the key to unlocking the Death Stranding. But she insisted that I never tell the director. The cord shows no sign of decomposition or necrotization. Almost as if it's frozen in time.
So whose umbilical cord is it?
To make sense of it. So I had it hidden with your cargo at Mountain Knot City.
Deadman's
Heartman gives the most thumbs up,
just like Mama's
and I
cord.
appreciate it.
What do you mean?
I mean, they share a very unique property. Both contain large amounts of chiralium in their cells. In other words, the President's cord was somehow...
Okay, so it was Bridget Strand's
and that
umbilical cord.
allowed it to escape the flow of time. I've put together the bones of a theory. It's patchy, but worth sharing, I think.
Did you put together literal bones or figurative bones? Because...
Life on Earth has been rocked by many extinctions, great and small, including the Big Five. And if you examine the Earth's strata, its history, if you will, you'll find chiralium deposits that can be dated to each. What if the manifestation of beaches and other associated phenomena correspond to extinction-level events?
Weren't you asking that already?
Yes. Our Death Stranding could just be the latest of many. The records and research you helped us to recover strongly suggest that we are in the middle of the 6th extinction.
6th extinction? Come on.
You know what this is, yes?
A frozen mammoth from 10,000 years ago.
Sam... Yeah.
Correct. And this?
The Iceman from 5,300 years ago.
They both had the same umbilical cords.
Bullshit.
Humor me. What if the mammoth and the Iceman weren't frozen?
You're saying time stopped for them just like it did for Mama?
Unfortunately, all these specimens were lost in the Death Stranding, so there's no way to examine the genuine articles. But some fragments of data did survive. With the aid of the chiral network, we may be able to piece together something more concrete using Evo-Devo tech.
Though, I mean, like, the entire idea that this is a 6th extinction level event shouldn't be too surprising considering how horrible the Earth has become.
Umbilical cord, not decomposed.
Only mammals have umbilical cords.
No. Only mammals have umbilical cords used for childbirth. This
Sorry.
is something else. Call it a strand from the other side.
Sorry,
I
Sam.
propose that
You
the
lost
male
those
and
likes.
umbilici are a sort of mimesis of the strand that then evolved over time. We shouldn't assume that everything about a Death Stranding is detrimental to life. Trilobites.
And that's something the biologist presented, is that
Dinosaurs.
the Death Stranding is just a fact of nature, and then things have evolved because of it, or devolved and lost.
Exception, found with strands, which is to say that all may have been connected to the beach. And this, when viewed in the context of the extinction entity, EE theory, leads me to surmise that organisms with strands are in fact extinction entities. You see, Sam, EEs are connected to the beach via their strands. And it is through this connection that they somehow bring about a Death Stranding.
So you're saying Bridget was an extinction entity?
It's far too soon to say anything for certain. And since you burned her body, we may never know.
Well, we needed to do it before the
Said
necrosis
Alma
set
was
in.
an EE, the She
What?
doesn't have dooms like the rest of us.
Sam, think. Assume that President Strand was an EE. Isn't it possible that her daughter is too? At the very
Isn't it
least,
possible for her
Higgs may
son?
hope as much now that the president is unavailable.
Ah, okay, so essentially
Kidnaps
Higgs
her
wants
for
to use
powers
her
or
to
whatever to cause a mass
bring
extinction.
in the BTs and have the BTs scoop us all up and
Perhaps not.
blow up the
I
planet?
doubt a single EE is powerful enough to cause a Death Stranding, assuming Amelie is an EE.
And hold on a second. They
Well,
want to
actually, I think
cause
she's
a
got
Death
what it
Stranding.
takes.
Hasn't a Death Stranding already occurred?
Indeed. And we need to get her back as soon as possible.
1 minute remaining. Please hold on to something secure.
Ah, this one is real. Sam, go west.
How do you want me to handle Die Hardman?
With your customary reserve. Nothing good will come of him learning of our suspicions. Whatever else is going on, we still need the chiral network.
This is true.
Activating lab security measures.
Thanks, Heartman. I appreciate all of the thumbs up. And even the thumbs down. Alright. Though I think this is going to be where I stop for the night. Got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.